Welcome to Daily Scripture Reading. I do not own the rights to this music. Nahum chapter 3, this is the Amplified Version. Nineveh's complete ruin. Woe! Judgment is coming to the city of blood, guilty of murder and mayhem, completely full of lies and pillage. Her prey never departs alive. The noise of the cracking of the whip, the noise of the rattling of the wheel, galloping horses, and rumbling and bounding chariots in the assault of Nineveh, horsemen charging, swords flashing, spears gleaming, many slain, a mass of corpses, no end of corpses. The horsemen stumble over the corpses, all because of the many acts of prostitution of Nineveh, the prostitute, the charming and well-favored one, the mistress of sorceries, who betrays nations by her acts of prostitution, idolatry, and families by her sorceries. Behold, I am against you, declares the Lord of hosts, and I will lift up your skirts over your face, and I will let the nations look at your nakedness, O Nineveh, and the kingdoms at your disgrace. I will throw filth on you, and make you vile, and treat you with contempt, and set you up as a spectacle. And it will come about that all who see you will shrink back and run from you and say, Nineveh is completely ruined. Who will grieve for her? Where will I seek comforters for you? Are you better than Thebes, which was situated by the waters of the Nile, with waters surrounding her, whose defense was the sea, the Nile, whose wall consisted of the sea? Ethiopia was her strength, and Egypt too, without limits. Put and Luban were among her helpers, yet she became an exile. She went into captivity. Her young children were dashed to pieces at the head of every street. They cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound with chains. You too, Nineveh, will become drunk with the cup of God's wrath. You will be hidden. You too, Nineveh, will search in vain for a refuge from the enemy. All your fortresses are nothing but fig trees with ripe figs. When shaken, they fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, your people are as weak and helpless as women in your midst. The gates of your land are opened wide to your enemies. Fire consumes the bars across your gates. Draw water for a long continued siege. Strengthen your fortresses. Go down to the clay pits. Trample the mortar. Prepare the brick kiln to burn bricks for the rampart. But there, in the very midst of these preparations, the fire will devour you. The sword will cut you down. It will devour you as the locust does. Multiply yourself like the creeping locust. Multiply yourself like the swarming locust. You have increased your traders more than the visible stars of heaven. The creeping locust strips and destroys and then flies away. Your guardsmen are like the swarming locusts. Your marshals are like the hordes of grasshoppers, settling in the stone walls on a cold day. When the sun rises, they fly away, and no one knows the place where they are. Your shepherds are asleep, O king of Assyria. Your nobles are lying down in death. Your people are scattered on the mountains, and there is no one to gather them. There is no relief and healing for your hurt. Your wound is incurable. All who hear the news about you clap their hands over what has happened to you. For on whom has your unceasing evil not come continually? The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.